Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatye Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Shankaram Lokashankaram. Samastajana Kalyani Nyaratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Sri Tapona Sishyaya Namaha. Let us chant the Shanti Patha of Ishavasya Upanishad. Yes. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. We are doing Ishavasya Upanishad. So far we have done, I believe, 11 verses. Very briefly, first two mantras are about Jnana Marga and then Karma Marga, 1 and 2. Then 3 to 8 highlight the importance of Jnana Marga. What we learned there is those who realize their true self also know the true self pervades inside and outside. Then you might wonder, then the body is real. No. But it pervades everything as its true swabhava or nature. What is swabhava? If you take swabhava of something, that thing doesn't exist. If you take the swabhava of the golden ornament, that is gold, if you take it out, ornament doesn't exist. So the swabhava of the whole universe is Brahman. That's the only reality. Now, how about me, my mind, my thoughts, my children? They're all mithya. What is mithya? That which depends upon something. As long as you don't realize that something, this looks like it is real. Just like if you don't realize it is a rope, the snake that is superimposed on the rope looks real. The same thing with our life. As long as we don't realize who we are in reality by stopping the mind, which refracts our understanding of ourselves, we will be caught in samsara. What is samsara? That is changing. What is ignorance? Thinking happiness comes from samsara. So we keep on projecting happiness in objects of our awareness. But we forget who we are. It's like when you get a beautiful mango to eat, you forget the juicy aspect of it, but hang on to just the skin. The skin has some taste, but it comes from the mango only. In the same way, every objective happiness comes when the mind temporarily stops, then what happens if the mind stops permanently, or saying stopping permanently can be misleading. The correct way to state it is if the mind realizes that it is not really mind, I am Atman. How does it realize? When it stops, it expands. Then you have a Jnana Drusti. Jnana Drusti means you have Paramarthika Drusti. Then when you have the Paramarthika Drusti, it means you are seeing who you are in real sense. At that time, you can still use the mind as an instrument for transaction. But you are not limited by what mind dictates. So living in the world of mind is samsara. Living in the world of knowledge is jnana. So what is the effect of realizing that? We learnt in the up to eighth verse, I think 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, and 8, those verses we learnt. The effect is we ekastham anupashyataha, we see oneness. What happens the result of that? We do not have any hatred or likes. Conditioned happiness, sorry, conditioned hates and dislikes. Ko mohaha kasokaha ekastam anupashyataha. We also do not have the delusive look about ourselves. Then it automatically removes the soka, means grief. If you identify with the limitations, then limitations control you. So this is very, very direct teaching, and it tells you you become totally detached from the ignorant way of looking at life. How you do that? Through knowledge of the given by scriptures, by Guru Parampara, and also scriptures. Sravana, Manana, Nitidhyasana. Listen to the truth and reflect upon it. If you have any questions, inquire further, ask the people, necessary people, and then you own it. Nitidhyasana. Nitidhyasana means owning the teaching as your true nature. This is what happened. Now, mantras 9, 10, and 11, which we did last week, tell you if you are not able to have that clarity and vision in your life, because we have too many thoughts that control our attitude, likes and dislikes, anxieties, fears, insecurities, so many things. And if we are a slave of those things, what the Upanishad is saying that you have to combine samuchaya, it is called, combine karma yoga and upasana. Karma yoga means, I explained last week, Deva, Rushi, Pitru, and then Manushya and Bhuta, Yajnas. These are prescribed by the scriptures as karma kanda. Follow those, Deva Yajna, worshipping God, Rushi, respecting the teachings of Guru Parampara, and also supporting the organizations that teach. Deva, Rushi, Pitru, your fathers, forefathers, and elderly in the people society. Have a sense of gratitude towards them and also help them as much as you can. Manushya, Manushya means fellow human beings. Yajna, have a attitude of service and respect towards them. Bhuta Yajna, Bhuta Yajna means fellow living beings such as Pasu Pakshadi, trees, nature, not pollute. So these are five. Scripturally, these five yajnas are prescribed. Follow as much as you can. What does it do? It dilutes your ignorance. And also it gives you rewards. If you after you pass, you go to Pitruloka. If you particularly if you do it with a desire to go to higher worlds, you do seva, service to higher worlds, you go to Pitruloka after pass. Other is upasana. Upasana means take a chosen deity of your Ishta Devata and then worship. It's part of Devajna. Surrender. And then you perform rituals with a desire. Okay, I want education. I want to have children. I want to have a nice house, a Lakshmi, Saraswati, like that. That those desires are fulfilled. To the extent you qualify. Because some of the obstacles can be removed because you get more concentration and you get more peace and then you will be able to apply yourself better. These are done with desires. But mantra number 11 says, if you combine karma as a yoga and upasana means, as I said, worshipping deities, with combine them together, but with an attitude of desirelessness, samuchaya, then it becomes yoga, karma yoga and upasana yoga, bhakti yoga. How you combine that? In every action, you see godliness. I do my best, leave the rest to God. You invoke the grace of God, and then Katrutra Bhavana, you say, I do my best. Karma Yoga, you leave to the rest of it, leave to God. You don't feel anxiety, you don't think about the past, you don't worry about the future, you live in the present and you do your best. Because God is the doer, I am only. So Katrutra Bhavana you offer to God. But you do your duty. Better. Because you are not thinking about past or future. So God, you now during your actions, involve God. When the results come, you also involve, as a bhotruptva also you offer to God. God, you have given me this, I will take it as it is. You don't complain because that's what you get. There's nothing you gain by complaining. You could have a plan, you execute it, then you can discuss, but it does not mean you get depressed or you become confused and you become depressed. All these things will not happen. What this would do, it will reduce your anxieties, it will increase your concentration in the work. Also, it gives you expansion because you see godliness. And because you have surrendered, you are not isolated, you are not reflecting, you are not focusing yourself, attention on your ego. So in the last class, I quoted sloka, which is Atmatvam girjamati sahachara prana sariram gruham pujate vishayo upabhogarachana nidra samadhistitihi samchara padayo pradakshina vidhi stotrani sarvagiraha yadyat karma karote tattadakhilam sambhotavaradhanam. This is exactly very beautiful sloka from Sivaparadha Stotram. Manasa Siva Manasa Puja. Sloka number 4, written by Shankaracharya. So this is a way to combine karma and upasana. That's why this is a very good sloka. That's why I'm quoting it again. Last week I explained the meaning of it, but this is so that is how you combine. So when you wake up, you think of some deity that you worship, you think of him or her, and then that attitude will persist through. You focus on your work, but at the same time, do not focus on ego. Whatever happens, God will take care of it. I will do my best, like that. And then so you combine upasana with action. If you do that, nishkama karma, because we are offering it to God, your chosen deity. What will happen if you do that? You still work, but anxiety will reduce. Then the result of it is you go to Brahmaloka when you pass. Because you have done Nishkam Karma. and upasana. So upasana, I mentioned last week, upasana is nothing more than give a mental form to God, Ishta Devata. Sadhakanam hitardhaya brahmano rupa kalpana. That is upasana technique. And use that God as the alambana, means support for your activities. That's the. So this is so these three slokas, mantras, 9, 10, and 11, give you a process how you can purify your heart, so that you are ready to absorb the teaching of Jnana by Sravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. Otherwise, things will look like they're theoretical. It's not surprising because your mind has not started to revel in yourself. It is only reveling in exterior objects and emotions. So, in order to do that, your disturbances have to be reduced. So, combining Upasana and Karma Yoga, that will happen. It is not arbitrary because you are not ready. That's all it is saying. That is why Samuchaya is suggested. So, now mantras 12, 13, and 14, I will just give a quick introduction before we read those. They also talk about upasana, not karma yoga, but upasana. But they can samuchaya. Samuchaya means combining two types of upasanas. Two types of upasanas. One is Hiranyagarbha upasana, other is avyakta upasana. Avyakta means Maya, Maya Shakti upasana. Okay, so combining them is another samuchaya. And Bhagavan Shankaracharya explains the benefits of both of them and then doing them together what happens. Okay, with that, let us first chant 12. Yes. Andham tamapravishanti ye sambhutimupasate tato bhuya evate tamaha ya u sambhutyagum rataha. Andham tamapravishanti ye sambhutim upasate tato bhuya evate tamaha ya u sambhutyagum rataha. I want to, before you go to next mantra, leave it, please keep continuing to show. If you say here, a sambhutim upasate, andattama pravishanti, a sambhutim upasate. Between a and sa, there is a avagraha. It's called avagraha in Sanskrit. If after ekara, if akara comes, they don't read it, they skip it, but they read it together. Ye sambhutim upasate, you read it like that. But when you break it, this is important. Andham tamaha pravishanti ye asambhutim upasate. That's how you read it. When you break it. Okay, that's good. After ekara or okara, if akara comes, in Sanskrit, it is dropped. Because to read it, it is not as easy. So, ye sambhutim upasate, they read that. Okay. What is that? The S-shaped one, it's called avagraha. When you do padachedana, to explain the meaning, they say ye asambhutim upasate. That is how it is broken up. Okay? Because the reason I'm telling it will come in the next 14th mantra, it becomes important. Okay, let us go to okay, let me explain this first, then we go to 13th mantra. So let me explain this. Andham tamaha pravishanti. Again, very similar style as the 9, 10, and 11. Very similar style. So it will go a little bit fast this time. He's saying, Andhan tamaha pravishanti. those ye asambhutim upasate. Asambhuti means that which is not born. Sambhavaha means that is virginated. Asambhavaha means that which has not virginated. Asambhuti means the same thing. What is that has not virginated? Maya, along with Brahman. Brahma's Shakti is eternally present with Brahmaji. Not Brahmaji, Brahman. Brahman means Satchit Ananda Swarupa. Satchit Ananda Swarupa has the capacity to appear different based upon our karmas. That capacity is Maya Shakti. Brahman doesn't change. He remains absolutely unaffected as a witness. When Maya Shakti projects within him the universe, Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara also. That Asambhuti is Maya Shakti, the Shakti of Brahman, which is because Shakti and the possessor of the Shakti are not two. Suppose somebody can sing very well. When he is not expressing by singing, the Shakti is still in him. So he is not different from the person who can sing. But when he sings, Shakti is manifested. His singing capacity is manifested. In the same way, Brahman and his Shakti called Maya are one, whereas Maya only makes things appear in Brahman. From Vedanta point of view, appearance only, it is not real, mithya. Everything that appears in Brahman is only an appearance, not something real. But our mind is only on the appearance, so we forget Brahman. But we are that Brahman, but our mind is just appearance within your true nature. Your body is also appearance. Whole universe is just appearance within you. But the moment you realize, you withdraw your attention, and then from there you look back, then you say, oh, I missed it. How do you miss? You look to the mind. Mind refracts the Maya, does that trick. So here, those who do upasana, asana means sitting near, means meditating upon it, and Maya Shakti, they go into tamaha. Andam tamaha pravishanti. They go into pitch darkness. Same style as mantra number 9. Okay, it is like to nahi ninda nyaya. The ninda here is not to criticize something, it is to glorify something else. That is the way to look at it. Next line, tato bhuya ivate tamaha ya upu sambhutyagam upasate. Here, previous line asambhuti upasana. The second line sambhuti upasana. Sambhuti means that which has virgination. What is that it has virgination? Maya and Brahman together have capacity for something to appear in it. What is the first appearance? Brahmaji. Chaturmukha Brahmaji. In Vedanta, it is called Hiranyagarbha. Because he has the capacity, he has the Garbha means he has the womb of the whole creation. So but he is the firstborn. So I just remembered while I was preparing, some of you might remember in Mundaka Upanishad, very first mantra, 1 dash 1 dash 1. We did Mundaka Upanishad. I just chant that again. Om Brahma Devanam Prathama Sambhabhuva Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta Sa Brahma Vidyam Sarva Vidya Pratishtham Atharvaya Jyeshtaputraya Praha. Mundaka Upanishad, first mantra. He says, Om, of course, that God who is infinite, all pervading self. Brahma Devanam Pradhama Sambhabhuva. Brahma, who among all the devatas, one who is born first. Brahmaji. Mundaka Upanishad. So, same thing he is talking about here. Here, Sambhuti is that Brahmaji, who is born. He has a life cycle like us, but different life cycle. Several lakhs of years become his day like that. What is the qualification? Vishwasya Karta. That Brahmaji is the Vishwasya Karta. He one who manufactures the world. Within him projects. Bhuvanasya Gopta also protects. Vichya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. That is he. That is his. All the Jnana Shakti, all the Kriya Shakti he possesses. But 99% Sattvic. Nishkam karma he does. According to our prarabdha, he projects. Sa Brahma Vidyam Sarva Vidya Pratishtham Atharvaya Jyeshtaputraya Praha. He taught the Brahma Vidya, means about knowledge of Brahman, to Atharva, who is just Jyeshtaputraya Praha. And what is the Brahma Vidya? Sarva Vidya Pratishtham. This is the heart of all teaching. So that Brahmaji he is talking about here. So here it is Sambhuti. So those who worship that Hiranyagarbha, they go to darker worlds. Those who worship Maya Shakti, they go to dark worlds. Those who worship Hiranyagarbha, they go to darker worlds. These are Upanishad, these are Upasanas, darker worlds. Okay. Again, as I said, this is not meant literally because higher goal is going to be prescribed. So next mantra, I'm just going through these mantras first, then I will explain in detail. Next mantra number 13. Anyadevahu sambhavat, anyadahura sambhavat, idu shushrumadhiranam, yenastad vichachakshire. Anyadevahu sambhavat, अन्यदेवाहु संभवात् अन्यदाहुर संभवात् इति सुषुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचचक्षुरे. Okay, now in this mantra, if you go back to mantra number 13, just please go back to it. Sorry. Okay. See, the last letter ended with ekara. Just make a note of that. A. Enas. Enastad vichachakshire. Enastad, yeah, correct. Enastad vichachakshire. See that ekara is here. So next sloka, my next mantra, when I go there, I will mention why I highlighted this here. Okay, now I will explain the meaning. The meaning is, just like mantra number 10, if you separately do upasana, means worship or meditate upon sambhavat. Sambhavat means Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha. Anyada, you get one result. Earlier it said you go to darkness. Now it's correcting a little bit. It's trying to kind of get you ready for the next mantra. So it is correcting, it's toning down the language. So it's introduced before to get the next mantra. It is saying, if you worship Sambhava means Hiranyagarbha, you get one result. Anyadahu Asambhavat. Asambhava, if you worship Asambhava, means Prakriti or Avyakta or Maya Shakti. You get different result. So you see, they are correcting them. You get result, but it's different result. Okay. This what iti Sushrumadhiranam enas tad vichachakshire. We heard this from Dhiras, means Rishis, who know the essence of the results of the Upanishad. The Sambhava means Hiranyagarbha Upasana versus Maya Prakriti Upasana, who knows? Who those people who have explained to us like this. The Upanishad is saying that you should trust the scriptures. If you go to, okay, that's what your teacher has taught you. Okay, let me go and talk to your teacher then. So you go to his teacher and ask him, okay, my guru has told me that you have taught him like this. So can you explain what? Then he says, my guru taught me like this. Then you go to that guru, he says, my guru taught. So basically, Upanishad is saying, Sadasiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Parentam Vande. It came from Brahmaji. Brahmaji got it from Brahman. Though it is basically tad enas tad vichachakshire. You should not take it as somebody just interpreted. No, no, no. All Upanishads are, along with the creation of the universe, Bhagavan has given them knowledge to Hiranyagarbha. That is why we have to be grateful to the Guru Parampara. Because of they preserved in spite of the odds. Some of those people are persecuted through centuries. And society also stopped supporting them. They were starving, but still they taught their children. And still they taught their children. See, until about 1,000 years ago, gurus, kings used to support because these people were only doing study and teaching. They did not have any income. Now, in the last 1,500 years plus, that has stopped. And still, for Guru Parampara continued. This is how, because of the love for the teaching, because of the Brahma Vidya. It is not for sale. Even life is not worth it unless if you don't understand the purpose of your existence. So they wanted to continue teaching against the odds. So that's why. So ita shishruma dhiranam enas tad vichachakshire. Those who have explained to us, that's what I'm telling. We are teaching you also. That's what Upanishad is also saying. We learned so from our Guru Parampara. What if you do upasana of Hiranyagarbha, you get one result. To do upasana of Avyakta or Prakriti or Maya Shakti, Prakriti, you get different result. Now it is toned down a little bit. You get different result, it is saying. Thus we heard from our Dhiras, from Rishi Parampara. Now we'll do the next mantra also, then I will explain further. Mantra number 14. Now, in the last mantra, it ended with ekara. So, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, in his Bhashya, he says, you have to add akara here. It was deleted by grammar rules. See, if Shankaracharya did not write it, who would not have caught it? He would not have caught it. Then we say, what is this? Suddenly he said, Asambhuti has changed to Sambhuti. It would have been impossible for us. He caught it. And in his bhashya, he said, okay, when you break it up, sometimes you drop it, but you have to read it together, then it is there. So he added asambhut here. So I will read it now. Asambhutincha vinashancha yastad vedo bhayam saha vinashena mrityum tirtva sambhutyamritamasnute. I will do it again. असंभूतिंच विनाशंच यस्तद्वेदो भयं सह विनाशेन मृत्युं तीर्त्वा संभूत्यामृतमश्नुते. Okay. So asambhuti means again that which is not born. Maya Shakti. I explained before, but I will again I will tell you why Maya Shakti is not born. It is the Shakti of Brahman. When it manifests, then we see the world and ourself, our mind, all of these things. But when it is not manifested, it is Shakti of Brahman. So we can worship that as unmanifested state of you and I. I will explain further. So asambhutimcha vinashancha. Vinasham means that which can be destroyed. Here vinasham, the Upanishad has changed the words, but vinasham stands for sambhuti. Where sambhuti, that which is born also dies. So you change the word from sambhuti to vinasha. So anything that is born also will die. So Brahmaji, Hiranyagarbha is born, so he also has a death. Only thing that is not born is our Atman. Chaitanya, Satchit is unborn. So Vinasham, so Brahmaji has Vinasha. So Vinasham, Hiranyagarbha. Yastad Vedo Bhayam Saha. Here Veda means Upasana. Those who do Upasana of both of them together called Samuchaya, together. Just like earlier, Karma Yoga and Upasana worship together, offering to Bhagavan your actions and also your Bhoktrutva Bhagana. In the same way, here also, you have that in your heart of hearts, Avyakta and Brahmaji Upasana, Edved Ubhayam Saha, both those people, Vinashecha Murtyum Tirtva, by the worship of Vinasha. Vinasha means Hiranyagarbha, Sambhutya Amruta, Asambhutya Amrutamasnute. By the Amruta, by the worship of Asambhuti means Vyakta Amrutamasnute. You get them immortality. Here again, Murtyum Tirtva and Amrutamasnute, they have contextual meanings. So, now I will explain the total meanings. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya explains, if you take mantra number 12 and 14, 13, when you worship Hiranyagarbha alone, Hiranyagarbha Upasana alone, how do you do that? So, our Sri Krishna has elaborated nicely in Bhagavad Gita. So we take hint from him. He talks in how to Hiranyagarbha Upasana without using the word Hiranyagarbha. See, Hiranyagarbha is our cosmic subtle mind. What is subtle mind? Our manas and buddhi. Subtle. Prana also, but for the discussion here, manas and prana. So, all the minds and all the intellects in the whole universe combined is Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha he gets illuminated as though by the presence of Shakti. Just like the light here gets illumination through Shakti, called electricity, energy. Hiranyagarbha, the cosmic totality of awareness. It is not consciousness, awareness. Because he is born, he is aware of limitations. Cosmic awareness, as we call it, and illumined by Maya Shakti, Hiranyagarbha. Shri Krishna in chapter 12, some beautiful verses are there from 6 to 11. Somehow in gradations he will talk. Last week I explained ninth and 10th, how to combine karma and bhakti. So here 6 to 8, I will quickly read them and then I will explain. ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसां मय्येव मन आधस्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवशिष्यसि मय्येव अतमूर्ध्वं न संशयः. This is Hiranyagarbha. See, Hiranyagarbha is cosmic, subtle body. When he manifests, he is the cosmic gross body also. Vishwarupa. So, Avyakta is Ishvara. With Maya Shakti, that is equivalent to our deep sleep state. Now, at individual level, if you take it, our deep sleep state, Avyakta, with the Shakti unmanifested, for cosmic level, it's called Ishvara. At the cosmic level, subtle body that comes out of the Avyakta is Hiranyagarbha. Totality of all subtle bodies, mind and intellects, all emotions, all thoughts, all ideas, everything. And then the cosmic total manifestation at the physical level is called Virat, Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa means Aneka Rupa. Every Rupa is Hiranyagarbha only, Virat. So that's the one in context here. Mayyeva manadhasva, Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Everywhere you see the presence of Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha upasana. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Mana and buddhi, both subtle body. Both of them you dissolve. Upasana means upa-asanas. Sit near, surrender. So individualized thoughts you drop in the interest of total awareness. You exist as pure awareness. So, Mayi buddhim, Mayi eva mana adhasva, Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Both your subtle aspects you retain in me. Niveshaya means withdraw into awareness principle. Then what happens? Nivashishyasya mayeva atavurdham na samshayaha. Then you remain in that awareness, there is I have no doubt about it. Krishna says. That is Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyam. Okay. Then he says, if you cannot do it, then you do an abhyasa. You take one idea, one ideal, one idol, an ideal, and then do abhyasa. And then that also cannot do karma yoga. Krishna goes to this. So Hiranyagarbha upasana, aneka rupa upasana. See, so those who are devotees, aneka rupa means you see Shiva everywhere or you see Krishna everywhere. Physically, nothing is changed, but you mentally you have see Ishwar rupa, aneka rupa upasana. And the funny thing here is Krishna says, which is more, verse number 7, he says, Teshamaham samudharta muktu samsara sagarat bhavami nacharat partha maya veshata chetasam. If you do that upasana in such a maya, in Hiranyagarbha upasana, Teshamaham samudharta, I will lift them and prepare them for next level. Based upon the context, that is the meaning you have to say. A guru will come to you, that's why you have to. Or you go to Kama Mukti, you go to Brahmaloka. But here is keyword here, Mayeva, you have to drop your ego. Ego includes manas and intellect. You have to drop your ego and surrender to the totality of presence. Then you expand. Vishwarupa Upasana. Hiranyagarbha Upasana it's called. Now what about the Avyakta? So, so I will chant couple of slokas from Bhagavad Gita only. Krishna explains that also. Verse number 3 and 4, chapter 14, he says, Mama yonirmahat brahma kasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata sarva yonishu kaunteya murte sambhava mantiyah tasam brahma mahad yonihi aham bija pradaprita. See, he says in this mantra, I will quickly explain the meaning. What he says is, as Chaitanya consciousness, I am the Father. Maya is the material cause of the universe. I activate, or Maya essentially receives ability to manifest the world from me. It's like a Shiva and Shakti. What happens? Sambhavat sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Then possibility of everything to manifest takes place. So Shiva and Shakti are together. So here that Shakti is called Prakriti. Without Prakriti, Shiva cannot produce. That is the Saundara Lahari. Without Shakti, he cannot even Spandana is possible for him. But he remains as witness and Maya is acting. Sarva yonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahadyoni aham bija pradapita. Everything that manifests, I am the support. Maya is the yoni. So if you combine these two and do upasana, what happens is Maya Shakti will take you to Brahman. See, otherwise Maya Shakti will bind you. Because Maya Shakti is powerful to externalize your mind and intellect. So you withdraw to Hiranyagarbha and then you withdraw again into the quietude of your heart and then remain there into Brahman. If you do that, then you as a upasana phala, you go to the Brahmaloka. Shankaracharya in his commentary he says, if you only worship Hiranyagarbha, you got powers. Anima, he talks about that in his Vishwarupa Upasana. If you do, you get powers. You can create. You can suddenly become light like a feather, or suddenly become like a heavy like earth, or you can create something out of the air. Bhagavan Shankaracharya exhibited some of those powers in his life, but he always said, he condemned it. Reason why he condemned it? Because when you, with Sakama Karma, if you do Upasana of in Hiranyagarbha, you get powers in your next life or in this life. That is Sakama. So you should not do with Sakama, Nishkama Hiranyagarbha Upasana. Then you also do Nishkama Upasana of Maya Shakti. Means you surrender to Maya Shakti. Oh, mother, you take me to Shiva. Don't just say Maya, Maya. Say, mother, please take me to Shiva. Don't just retain me in this ignorance. Your power of externalizing my mind and intellect. That is the upasana. So you please do, please. I am not capable. Next couple of mantras it will come even more powerfully. These are all karma only. So this is again our brothers, our guru, Jagat Guru, Sri Krishna explains this. That's why otherwise we cannot understand this Upanishad. Because Shankaracharya himself does not explain what is the upasana of the um, uh, Prakriti. He only says if you do Prakriti upasana, you become laya. Laya means you go into a state like deep sleep. That's what he says. Then what happens? As a phala of that upasana, after the creation, during the pralaya, you become you merge with unmanifest. That is a temporary merger. When the manifestation takes place again, you come back because you have not have jnana. Without jnana, there is no liberation. So if you do nishkama without kama, both of these, avyakta, when your mind becomes very, very quiet, you withdraw your attention to the heart. Don't stop there. Observe the quietude and then it will collapse into your oneness. Maya will give you permission. So that is what Bhagavan just in chapter 7, 14th verse, he will say, Krishna says this, Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva ye prapadyante Mayam yetam tarantite. I will explain. What he's saying is, this Maya, Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi, Mama Maya, this is my power. Duratyaya, it is very difficult to cross over. But how? Mameva ye prapadyante. If you pray her, say, hey mother, please take me to Shiva. Mameva ye prapadyante. Those who seek refuge in me through her, they mayam etam tarantite. Then they can cross it over. This Upanishad is, that's why it's very difficult to connect everything. So Maya Upasana is kind of a very interesting thing. Actually, Krishna actually says in chapter 8 also he says, Parastasmattu bhavonyah avyakto vyakta sanatana. He describes himself as, that is Parastasmattu bhavonyah. It is beyond the thought processes. And it is avyakto vyakta sanatana. It is unmanifest to Prakriti also. Means it is support of the Prakriti also. Avyakta Vyaktat Sanatana. It is eternal. Maya is not eternal because it can be ended. The knowledge, Maya can be ended. Whereas Paramatma, as a witness, he remains. Yaha saha sarveshu bhuteshu nasyatsu na vinashyati. That principle of consciousness which never dies, even though everything else dies, you can go there. That is beyond creation. We have actually we learned a little bit about this in Kathopanishad also. It's very, very important this to connect this. Otherwise, sometimes it's so confusing. I will quote this also. Indriyebhyah para hyardha ardhebhyasya param manah manasastu para buddhihi बुद्धेरात्मा महन् परः महान् परः महतः परमव्यक्तात् पुरुषः तत्पुरुषः परः पुरुषान्न परं किञ्चित् सा काष्ठा सा परागतिः. Here he goes to the order. What is subtler? What is subtler? What expands? What expands? What collapses into the deeper and deeper, deeper. Here it says Mahataha means Hiranyagarbha. Mahataha param avyaktaha. Greater than Hiranyagarbha is unmanifested tendencies. Avyaktat Purusha Paraha. Even that unmanifested tendencies are also possible because of the Purushaha Paraha, absolute self. So the whole creation, starting from the body, which is senses, to subtle body, to the cosmic intellect, which is the Hiranyagarbha, to the Avyakta, to Purusha, is described in this slokas. These are Katha 1, 3, 10 and 11th mantras. So the whole Upanishad teaching, Krishna also condenses into a little bit, but this is only condensed in 3 slokas, not explaining. But if you combine them, you don't get stuck in Hiranyagarbha, still stuck in caste. What do you mean by getting stuck in Avyakta? Your mind becomes quiet. You feel good, but you get as though you're laya, sleepy, a state of sleepiness. The wheel is not removed. The wheel of ignorance is not removed. So some people say, one Mahatma has said this. What he said is, between thoughts we have silence. That silence also you have to witness it. That silence has vasanas behind it because it springs into next thought. It springs. So if you just stop with that silence, and then next time your object, then you have to again withdraw the thoughts back to yours into Avyakta, and then and offer Amma, please take me to Shiva. But if you keep on reveling in the ignorance, Amma will help you because she's mother. Whatever you ask, she supports. So the silence is very nice. It's a very advanced state. But then if you revel in silence and go to sleep and then again come back to silence again, this definitely certain amount of advancement is there. But however, if you remain in that state of silence and then have a clarity, I am that all-pervading awareness. Please, Mother, let me be that Satchit, pure presence, existence. Without becoming, it is just be. And that surrender is Upasana of Avyakta. Then you are ready, that Samuchaya, then Hiranyagarbha, cosmic, you expand it to cosmic level by Hiranyagarbha Upasana, and then you also collapse Hiranyagarbha through the Avyakta into Parabrahman. That is what happens. Hiranyagarbha Upasana expands you. Vishwarupa Upasana is really. So from that expanded state, you pray Mother, and then you become realized. That is That is the purpose of this. Then how to do that? In the next two mantras also tell you how to do that offering to mother. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.